So today is a little bit different of a video, obviously because it's outdoors from what you normally see. But today I just wanted to talk about why you need an ND filter on your lenses, especially if you're shooting outdoors, because as you can probably see, it's a really bright and sunny day. And I want to keep this blurred background in my shots, whatever I'm doing outdoor wise or shooting. And you can't do that if you don't have a good ND filter on your lens to be able to give you that nice bird out, blurred out background, aka bokeh. And the ND filter, you can get all different types, but what I like about this filter, it is also a CPL, a circular polarizing lens filter, and it's going to allow you to not only have variable ND, in this particular case 3 to 7 stops. It's so bright out right now, so I'm shooting at 1.8 on the Panasonic S5 II and the 50 millimeter 1.8, and it's super bright out today. It's going to be sunny. I mean, it's not going to be sunny. It's going to be really hot, excuse me. It's already sunny, obviously, as you can see. But it's nice to have a filter on there, so that way you can expose your shots and still not have it blown out because you don't have a filter on. Yes, you could crank up your aperture, but then you lose this background blur. So the filter I'm talking about today is the Haida Ultra 2-in-1 CPL plus variable ND. And right now I'm shooting at 1.8, and as I move back you can see probably I'll lose a little bit of that background separation. But the cool thing about it is if you're close on your subjects and stuff like that, then you can use this 3 to 7 stop ND filter, which is going to allow you to have that blurred background and also expose, and that way your image is not blown out. So sure, you can crank up your aperture, but again, you won't have that blurred background if that's something that you so desire. So just a quick little tidbits about this filter. It comes in various sizes, anywhere from 67 millimeter all the way up to 82 millimeter. I always get 82 millimeter threads just because of the simple fact that I want to be able to adapt it to all lenses. So even if you have a 67 millimeter filter thread lens or 72 or whatever the case may be, you can always get the bigger lens filter, the 82 millimeter, and use step up rings in order to adapt them to those smaller filter sizes. On this particular Panasonic lens, I think it's a 67 millimeter filter thread, and I have it a step up ring, which you can get on Amazon as cheap as $4 or $5. I have it stepped up to 80 millimeter because that is the size. So let me just do a little demonstration for you real quick. Again, this Haida filter is a polarizer. Not really going to test the polarization feature of it, but just know what a polarizer is. So if you're shooting against a shiny object, or maybe shooting through a car window or windshield, and you get glare on it, well, what the polarizer does is it actually takes away the glare by you twisting that section of the filter. Some loud birds over there. Anyways, and that takes the glare, if you will, off of the glass or the shiny surface. Even works for like regular eyeglasses, so that's a good thing to have too. So if you're shooting someone in an interview and you may not necessarily need the variable ND part of it, but the polarizer feature on it that it has is really nice too, because then you could take glare off of eyeglasses. So right now we're at 7 stops, shooting wide open at 1.8, and I'm going to crank it down all the way to just the 3 stops so you can see what I'm talking about. So yeah, it's not a really pleasant image. I'm not doing anything in post to, balance the footage. This is currently at 3 stops. I'm shooting at ISO 640, which is the native ISO for Vlog with the Panasonics. Excuse me. So yeah, that's at 3 stops. And as you can see, that's not really a pleasant image. So yes, I could crank up my aperture, maybe to 2.8 or something like that, but I'm going to lose my depth of field. So let's go ahead and do now. That's 4 stops. That's 5 stops. That's 6 stops. And then that's 7. Actually, that's more than, okay, there we go. Yep, that's 7. No, that's 7. Sorry. So that's completely stopped there at 7. And now I'm underexposed, but as you can see, the whole image looks better because I'm not letting as much light into the sensor. So let me go to the side here so I can give you a more accurate reading and marking. Okay, so we're at 7 now. This is 6. This is 5. This is 4 stops. And then this is 3 stops of ND. So as you can see, the 3 to 7 stops is really good on a sunny day. And shooting at f1.8, you kind of know what to expect with 3 to 7 stops. I mean, it's pretty bright, as you can see in the background, and the sun is right here. So basically it's beating on my head. It's probably looking more like a hair rim light on this dome here. So yeah, I do like this filter. Let me go ahead and crank it back down. Pretty close to the camera. Get to see my mug. But yeah, I do like the filter. Nothing really else more to say about it besides you probably need to go ahead and get one for your camera because it is a handy thing to have, let me tell you. So shooting weddings and stuff like that, it is nice to have it out there because I just keep it on if I'm outdoors. Even if I go from indoors to outdoors, you know, I can crank up the ISO on this and still keep this on there, just drop it down to 3 stops. So like you have filters out there that are 1 to 5 stops, 3 to 7 stops, 6 to 9 stops. Get the middle ground at least, guys. Get the middle ground, 3 to 5 stops. 6 and 9 would be good too. But 6 stops just right automatically on your lens, even if you're outdoors, is still a lot. As you can see with the test that I just did, you know, taking it from 3 to 7, 6 is a lot, just a boom, just throw on there automatically. So I think a nice middle ground is 3 to 5. And if you don't, I'm sorry, 3 to 7, which this ND filter is. If you need a little bit more as far as darkening your image, is not letting in, you know, so much light into it, and the 7 stops won't cover it, then just crank up your aperture a little bit. You know, go from 1.8 to 2.8. It's a stop of light, and that could make the world of difference as far as just being able to expose your stuff. So yeah, short and sweet video today. Just wanted to talk about this filter, and hopefully it was short and sweet. I think I rambled a little bit, but ND filters, very important. ND filters plus a circular polarizer, and like this Haida filter, is really nice. So I will go ahead and leave a link to it in the description down below. And if you liked this video and it helped you out in any way, please feel free to give it a thumbs up. If it didn't help you, oh well, just give it a thumbs down twice. It's all good. Thank you so much for coming back to the channel. And until next time, be safe, be kind, and take care of each other.